Hey guys, welcome to Bicen Maths. My name is Mr. Bicen and I have been a maths teacher since 2010, and I'm hoping that you're here because you're studying A-level maths or possibly even further maths as well, and you've definitely come to the right place. So in this video I want to give you a big overview about everything that I have to offer to try and give you the best chance to achieve the highest grade that you can. Now, something you should know about my videos is that they are majority live recorded in my classroom. So you get a lot of questions from students and that natural kind of teaching that sometimes can be lacking when it's just somebody presenting to a screen. To find things you're looking for, I've spent a lot of time organising the homepage to try and make it as easy as possible to get to that video that you need. So they're all organised in playlists, and the playlists are in different sections. There's a part for Pure and Applied Year 1, Pure and Applied Year 2, as well as some sections for further maths. And if you just click those titles, it'll take you through to all of the playlists of the videos. Something that you'll probably notice in the video titles is that they have exercise links. They tell you what exercise it's actually referring to. So that means that you can go to the Pearson Edexcel textbooks, which I've put a link to in the description, and after you've watched the video and taken the example notes, you can then go and do some practice by yourself as well. If you wanted to take some example notes in the exact same way that my students would do, what I've also linked in the description are the blank lesson PDFs, where you can either print them or download them to your iPad, and you can follow along as though you were actually in the classroom with me. I've started offering something new this year, which is channel memberships, and there's a couple of different things you can do. You can either just show some support for the channel if you've been finding some of my stuff useful, but I'm also going to be putting a lot more time into option modules for further maths. Everything else is going to remain sort of outside of the membership, but the option modules are going to be loads more content being created for them, and I've basically done that because I think it's really difficult to find further maths teaching on those things, and it's also pretty expensive to get a tutor, so I'm hoping this option will be a bit more affordable for many of you who are taking further maths. So do go and check that out in case that's something that you'd be interested in. It's just next to the subscribe button. I have also had a lot of people who are doing international A-levels, so like the Pearson Edexcel International A-level, as well as the Cambridge CAIE A-level. And what I've done is I've gone and created a couple of documents that have taken those specifications and mapped it to the videos, and I've told you exactly which playlist and videos you need to watch to be able to teach that kind of content, because it's basically the same thing, but it's all kind of jiggled around in a different order. So that's something that should support you if you're doing international A-levels. I also last year have been offering some online classes before the exams, and that is something that is going to be continuing from now on. That won't just be in the summer before the exams, but there's also going to be some throughout the year, maybe preparing for mock exams or on specific topics. They're all run online, so you don't need to be anywhere in a particular location in the country to join them. And if you want to be able to check out about buying one of those tickets, you can go to my box office, which is also linked in the description. If you'd like to be one of the first people to hear about these classes, you can also sign up with your email address and your name, and there's a Google form link for that you can fill in the description, and that means you'll be the first to hear about those classes when they become available. The last couple of things is just to point out some of the less obvious things about my Google Drive and also about my channel homepage and what there is. So if you go into the Bicen Maths Google Drive, there are loads of different things in there that you're going to find useful. The number one thing I want to draw your attention to is a document at the top, a folder at the top that is filled with different PDFs of exam questions by topics. And that is going to be a game changer in terms of preparing for your exams, whether it's the real thing or your mock exams. It's basically just a question followed by a mark scheme, but they've all been organised into different topics, so you can really make sure that you've fully understood something before you move on to the next part. And I'll tell you in the description which ones of those have been updated to have the latest exam questions in as well. And then the very last thing I wanted to tell you about is that it's not just these recordings of my classroom and me teaching particular things. I've got loads more on this channel as well, whether that's kind of guiding you through the exam process with things like preparing for exams and revision techniques. I've also got things about preparing you for particular topics, whether that's integration or differentiation or trigonometry in just 30 minutes. There's even things about how to use your calculator, which is best to really try and learn about at the start of the course, rather than just sort of the few days before your final exam. So thank you so much for supporting my channel. I really hope that I'll be able to help you with your A-levels and your studies. Don't be afraid to comment on anything. If there's anything you're unsure about, I will always try and do my best to help out as much as possible. So good luck with all of your studies, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.